me in my other shit.
Well, I apologize for not being privy
Oh
to
no,
it.
it's okay. It's all right.
But yeah, what's Alabama astronaut? Debrief that to a inconsiderate college podcaster.
Yeah. In 2020, when all the gigs dried up, there's like a 10-minute story and a 2-minute story.
Give me 10 minutes.
Okay. When I was preaching in Middlesboro, Kentucky, that's where I pastored, right? I was trying to make peace about leaving there with myself and with God. I couldn't get it. But I figured I'd go to every house in that Middlesboro was a meteorite crater. It's one of the few cities in the whole world that's built in a meteorite crater. So the whole thing is surrounded by mountains like this, and there's a bowl, right?
That's awesome.
So I went to every house in that whole bowl, right? Evangelizing. And I came across this guy named Jamie Coots. Jamie Coots was a preacher, okay? And when I met him, I said, I made Partridge. I pastor, this church down here. And he's like, well, I'm Jamie Coots. I pastor Full Gospel Tabernacle in Jesus' name over here on the mountain.
Yeah.
We're the biggest snake handling church in the country. And I was like, whoa, I don't know nothing about all that. So he started telling me about it. And I was like, man, I figured it was, he must be kind of crazy handling venomous snakes, for Jesus or whatever. And then and I was committed to a theological set in that time in my life.
Right.
That I am no longer. But back then I was. And so, and that set that I had committed to did not allow for people like Jamie Coots to be handling snakes and stuff like that. So I was like, man, you're crazy. But anyway, he was very kind to me.
Right.
And he could read the fact that I was struggling. Prayed with me. He was like, hey, man, if you ever need anything, here's my phone number. And I was like, wow, man, that was, it was just this crazy meeting I had. I came back home, and then I did what I did. I left the church, all that stuff. Well, then a few years later, I see Jamie Coots on the TV, National Geographic. He's on a TV show handling snakes on there. It's called Snake Salvation.
He had his own TV show?
Well, he was the subject of a TV show where they were like talking about these churches that practice this snake handling.
Right.
And I was like, damn, there's Jamie Coots, right?
Yeah.
Then I went to the desert. I came back. I had got hit in the head when I was over there. I lost some stuff in the ear here. Yeah.
All right.
And so I was waiting around in these. I got put on orders to be out at Keesler for 6 months after I came back from the desert because they was trying to fix my ear.
Can you just for 30 seconds explain you got shot in the ear?
No. It's a story for another day.
Okay.
But it's a long story too. I got hit in the head.
Yeah.
And it just jacked up my hearing.
By the way, this is after an hour-long podcast.
Yeah. I didn't mean for life to end up this way. It just did. And
I love that quote.
Yeah. Well, then so I was waiting around for these doctors to tell me what they're going to do for my ear. And across they had Fox News channel or one of them channels on there. And it was like, whoom. And it was like breaking news. And it was like snake handling preacher dies of serpent bite. And it was Jamie Coots. There he was on my TV.
Right.
I was like, damn, that guy died. Because I had met him like
20 years ago.
it was 2014 to like 2007. So like 7 years
okay,
prior.
yeah.
I was like, man, 7 years ago I met this dude. And I was like, that's sad because I remember he had a wife and kids.
Right.
I was like, that sucks. But
And he was really nice to you.
he was really cool. Yeah, he was really cool to me.
Right.
And at this point in my life, I wasn't committed to all that theological stuff that made me see him as a bad guy.
It's like taking a picture with Elvis.
Yeah, I guess so. And well, then I started doing my music. I was playing. I went out on the road. I went out with this guy who wrote all these songs for Widespread Panic. His name's Jerry Joseph. We're going down the West Coast. He also brings along this other songwriter named Will Stewart. We're going down the West Coast together. Will Stewart wrote a song called, I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, Will Stewart wrote this song, and it talks about copperheads and the Holy Ghost. And I was like, what's that song about? Because I knew about Jamie Coots. I was like, what do you think about copperheads and the Holy Ghost for? He's like, oh, it's about a book I read called Salvation on Sand Mountain. So I bought this book called Salvation on Sand Mountain, and then the pandemic occurred, like a few months later. And I was like, shit, I'm going to read that book. Right. So I pulled off Salvation on Sand Mountain, and there was Jamie Coots in the book again. And I was like, man, like there he is in this book. So I'd lost all my gigs. I didn't know what I was going to do. So in June of 2020, I went back to Middlesboro to find that church. Yeah. And I found it.
And Middlesboro is the...
And it's the
crater.
city. Yes, the city in the crater. Right. Yeah, that I used to pastor a church in. And I found 2 or 3 of them serpent-handling churches.
So you were a pastor, left, came back to evangelize?
No.
Oh, okay.
I had went to Middlesboro when I was 25 years old to pastor a church. I call that evangelizing, the same thing. Okay. So I was there for 2 years, and then I was and then when I left there, my preaching was over.
But then you came back to Middlesboro.
Then I came back in 2020.
Okay, gotcha. And this is where.
And then I went to the Coots' church, and then I met his son Cody, Jamie Coots' son. Wow. Cody, and his father Greg. And they have a church there, and they had copperheads up there. And then they were playing this music that was it's like ferocious rock and roll. It's like
strumming the copperheads.
Yeah, the copperheads be up, but they were playing this music that was like, I mean, it's like the most incredible rock and roll music I've ever heard in my life. Really? Oh, it'll blow your mind. It's not like church music.
It just exists in Middlesboro.
Well, it exists in the Serpent-Handling churches. So I'm like, man, I got to find these songs. And so I start writing the lyrics down I'm hearing. I go home, I try to Google it. There ain't nothing. No. So then I start reading everything I can about Serpent-Handling. I found out that there never been a good documentation of their music. Yeah. And so that's what I started doing. I'm still going. It's been 5 years. I still go up there a pretty good bit. But
and just to capture their music, or to do what exactly?
Yeah, I go and record their music and attend their services. So, I just go to their churches and record audio. Right. Yeah, because they have it's a previously undocumented form of music. Well, then 2 years into that, my buddy Farrell Gibbs, who used to live here in Mobile, now he lives over in Texas. He was working for the Houston Chronicle at that time. He started calling me when I was on these trips, and then he just created this whole podcast called Alabama Astronaut.
And by calling you, was that the podcast, the conversation between you two guys?
Man, some of it, yeah. But it's like this whole, it's like an audio documentary or something. Something I don't know how you really call it. We call it a podcast, but I mean, there's lots of things that call podcasts. But.
Right. And are you just getting these Serpent band, like when you go over there, are you getting the bands that are playing the Salvation Serpent music into a studio, or
no, they don't. It's
like if you release.
Have you ever been to a Pentecostal church?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
If you release their music on Apple Music, do you think it goes viral?
Well, I don't know what makes anything viral. If I did, I'd tap into it so I can get the hell out of
yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
but the like that type of music, do you think the rest of the world would welcome?
I'm about to put out a whole record of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're recording them in a studio, basically?
No, I'm recording them at church.
You're just doing like a live recording?
Yeah. If you had been to maybe a holiness or Pentecostal or apostolic kind of service before, you'd kind of understand. But it's like very unscripted. It's just kind of what you call spontaneous. It just kind of happens. Right. You can't make it happen. It happens when it happens.
Just yeah.
Yeah, it's like
sermon with serpents.
Sermons and music, yeah, and there's like no band. It's just somebody feels led to get up and start tearing it.
Pulls a guitar out the pew.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Yeah, I've carried a lot of people. I've took a lot of over the years since the podcast came out. I've take over 100 people out to them churches with me before.
How do they feel about it?
Everybody that goes loves it.
Bugging.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's undeniable when you're there. Yeah, you can't say. Yeah, I mean, you may have a different idea about what's going on, but when you're there, it's like, oh man, this is some real stuff. Yeah.
And how do you record the music appropriately?
Well, I have. There's a number of different ways. I have some quality sound gear that I take in that's handheld, and then I also have like what do you call the big 16 channel thing, and
Gotcha.
I'll mic
Right.
each individual different instrument and microphone like way before church even starts.
Right. Do it secretly.
Hide all the wires. Well, they know, but
Well, once that revelation comes on, they forget about it.
Yeah.
That's really cool stuff. I'm
Yeah.
excited to hear it. When's the project coming out?
Well, we should have a record coming out. Probably I would say the middle of next year or something like that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, I've got so many things that I'm constantly doing.
Right.
But it's one of those things that I've been working on for years. Yeah.
What are you gonna call it?
Oh, it's probably gonna. I don't know yet. But it'll be a volume 1. It'll probably be called like songs of the Serpent-Handler or songs from the Serpent-Handling faith or something like that. Yeah.
And can you briefly just like what is the maybe center theme behind Serpent-Handling faith?
Well, the last words of Jesus, as recorded in the book of Mark, chapter 16. The last words that he uttered to his disciples, he said that there were 5 signs that would follow the believers, and those 5 signs are to cast out the devil, to speak in tongues. They lay hands on the sick and they shall recover. They shall take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them.
Take up serpents.
And they shall take up serpents, and they also drink poison. So they'll drink like strychnine,
Right.
or battery acid and things like that. They'll drink it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The serpent handler.
Yep. They will also drink strychnine poison sometimes.
Do they just get an adrenaline rush, or what's the?
I don't know what to tell you on all that, but I seen them.
I don't mean to put words in
Yeah, I seen them do it. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, but they handle like rattlesnakes and copperheads and water moccasins and stuff, venomous reptiles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Take up
and they get
serpents.
bit sometimes, and sometimes they die. Sometimes they get injured.
Welcome to the Gulf Coast. Welcome to the Gulf Coast. Welcome to the Gulf Coast.
Welcome, guys, to the Gulf Coast Music Podcast. Today's new wave, Partridge.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Quincy.
You're a traveling man.
Yeah, I stay on the road.
Yeah. Where are you coming in from today?
Well, I've been at home for the past few days. I've been all over the country this year thus far. My last big tour was about 6 weeks. I left out of here and went to Texas, and then up to Minnesota, and then over to New England and back.
Gotcha. And
Yeah.
how do you schedule your touring and like specifically working with the Great Lakes swimmers? Like, how do you coordinate that?
Well, I have a booking agent
Right.
that handles all my booking, yeah.
Gotcha.
And so, like 90 or 95% of my shows are just booked with my agency.
And gotcha. And like, would you be open to elaborating on kind of the math that goes behind that, the idea of the splits and the negotiation for that, like how that would work?
As far as
You don't have to get specific. Just
yeah.
like, do they take a cut of commission?
Yeah. So, I mean, when I first started playing my songs, I was booking everything myself,
Mm.
and then and I was going out of town. I started going out of town soon after I started playing, and then some folks started actually buying tickets to come to my shows and stuff, and then I got an agent in October of 2023,
Mm.
and so his name is Michael Kelly, he's with this called the Kirby Organizations out of Nashville, and he just books my shows, and yeah, they do make a cut, but the amount of work I was doing
Right.
to book myself. Before October 2023, I was mostly touring around the Southeast.
Mm.
And occasionally I'd pop over to Europe, or I would get over on the West Coast, or I would do something outside of the Southeast. But most of my personal connections I had built were like from Florida to Texas up to Kentucky. And so
Right.
I was really in that area for
And
many years.
Having a booking agency really opened it up for you.
Yeah, now I play up in the Northeast a lot. I play all up through the Midwest a bunch, and
How does Europe welcome you?
yeah, I love it over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go over there. I think I've done like 5 tours over there already.
In rural areas as well, or in the city environment?
Oh, I've done all of it over there. I've played I've played London and Amsterdam and
Some
Berlin and.
Some France grape orchards.
No French. The French, they speak their own language, and they don't really care for English too much.
They might like some chicken poetry.
Yeah, yeah. But the French, I don't know. I still haven't landed. I mean, I've driven through it, but I never played there. But I play a lot in England and the UK and the Netherlands. Really really good spot for me. But yeah, I've played in the city. The Netherlands. I think I've played every like town of any size over there over the years.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is Amsterdam in the Netherlands?
Yeah.
Yeah. The what's that? The strip that's
Amsterdam.
isn't there like a red walk or something?
Oh, the red light district.
Red light.
Yeah.
You played on that?
I'll stay out of that. Yeah.
You got to touch all the areas.
Yeah. Well, Amsterdam honestly is my least favorite spot of the Netherlands. Yeah.
Why is that?
Because it's just the tourist spot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's filled with basically sex and drug tourism, and people that are like sex and drug tourists aren't like the kind of folks that I generally like
True.
want to be chummy with.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
the other parts of this country, I love.
Right. Yeah, and speaking of your vibe, you got a really cool vibe. In the videos that you're posting on Instagram of you outdoors and strumming the guitar,
yeah.
and even just the way that you play the guitar. Have you noticed that you can tell a lot about a person by the way that they play the guitar?
I don't know what can you tell by it.
Just kind of let's see. I guess I'm improvising right now, but
Yeah.
I'll try to do my best. The way that you kind of pick at each string.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it's a good expression of free, like a free feeling. It's the kind of more conformative strumming the right chords.
Yeah.
Whereas you just
Yeah, I don't
just
like. Yeah, I don't like
picking
the
it.
strum. But when I first started writing, that's all I could do
what's that?
was strum.
Strum, yeah.
And then I started playing out.
Right.
And actually, is when I got this guitar. When I got this guitar, it don't want to be strummed.
Yeah, it sounds like firewood cracking.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and when I first got that guitar, that was 2017, and the people out in Austin there's a company called Collins Guitar, and they make that guitar, and so they made that one for me, and I got it, and I tried to play it with a pick, and it just didn't feel right, and
Yeah.
I had started. My first instrument was the 5-string banjo, and so I learned how to play with my fingers. So then I started playing like banjo licks on my guitar, and I was like, "Oh, this is the shit right here."
How'd you
So
get the banjo?
I started playing banjo when I was 18. That was my first instrument. I went to a
Wow.
pawn shop. Yeah.
So what were you doing for the first 18 years of your life?
Oh, I listened to a lot of music, but I didn't
Never.
know. No.
And then
My
you
mama
just-
was a piano teacher.
Yeah.
She taught piano in our house to some children and stuff, but I was always playing ball. I didn't want to play no
Gotcha.
piano or nothing.
Gotcha.
But then when I was 18, I was living in Tennessee. I was going to the second of 4 Bible colleges that I attended, and
Right.
I went down to a pawn shop and bought a banjo, and then I started, bought me a little book called Earl Scruggs and the 5-String Banjo. That book, I started learning it, and then
Classic book.
yeah, up in Kentucky, up in East Tennessee, there was this thing that would happen I think it was Tuesday or Thursday night. But like all these old dudes would play at this place called Ciderville Music. It was in Powell, Tennessee. And all these old dudes would get around and play like fiddle and banjo and guitar and stuff. And I started going down there. I was like 18, 19 years old. I was like the youngest dude by 30 years,
Yeah.
And they just took me right in, and that's how I learned. That's how I started playing music. Yeah,
Man, that part of the world just seems so interesting. The kind of nooks and cracks of East Tennessee and Kentucky, that type of area, like small towns in that environment. Can you describe that? What it's like going over there?
yeah. I mean, that's when I left Mobile when I was 18. I moved up to that area, and I lived there until I was 27.
Mm.
So I lived up in that area for a long time, and yeah, I love it up there. I kind of feel like my body was born here, and my soul was born there, because I went to Kentucky to pastor a church, an independent fundamental Baptist church. I was 27, and I went there for God, but then when all that collapsed, I found art.
Mm.
It was almost like a born again, a rebirth.
Right. Song and prayer are similar.
Yeah. You saw my picture, yeah. Mhm.
Music feeds the soul, but food feeds the future. Right here on the Gulf Coast, thousands of families don't know where their next meal is coming from. Feeding the Gulf Coast is changing that tune one meal at a time. Imagine this. For every $1, you can provide up to 5 meals. That's like turning a quiet solo into a full-blown jam session of hope for someone in need. Let's turn the volume up on kindness and down on hunger. Visit feedingthegulfcoast.org to donate today, because together we can make sure no one goes hungry on or off the stage. Feeding the Gulf Coast, because every community deserves an encore. Whoa, 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 don't let the dogs out. The City of Mobile Animal Shelter has many loving pets ready for a nice home. Whether you're looking for a dog like Snoop or a cat like Doja, the City of Mobile Animal Shelter is where you can find your next friendly companion. They're located at 855 Owen Street, and you can stop by anytime between 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We all need a little bow wow in our lives. Call 251-208-2800 because the City of Mobile Animal Shelter has you covered. That's 251-208-2800. Roof. Yeah, speaking of getting into painting, well, how did you get into painting?
Yeah, it was the same time I was writing. I just went to the Walmart and bought some paints and started doing it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Are there similarities between painting and writing a song?
Yeah, I mean, I think they both have at least for me, they originate in the same place, in the same part of my being, but they come together in a different way.
Right.
Songs take a whole lot of thought and time, and it's like whittling, and
Right.
Painting for me is more like a stream of conscious, like in the moment. It's like you put yourself in a place and then you make something.
Right. Now, in painting, have you found that you've developed certain graphics like that are true to your brand in the art? Like, you know, you see the eyes and the really wrinkled heads that are in your paint arts, and you know, do you find that in drawing those you've kind of mastered those forms and that those are like signature and true to you?
Yeah, I mean, I just when I started painting, it was just something I eventually came to. You know, this I just found the way that I like to draw people.
Right.
I like to, and I use faces to express things. You know, and
I get, yeah.
I don't know if I mastered anything though. I mean, I think it's the opposite of mastery. Whatever is the 180 from mastery. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. You know?
Right.
Yeah. I just kind of, I just, you know, and I have a few of my first paintings and that I made with the roof and tar, and then you can just, and then as I did like hundreds of paintings, you know, it just came to be this kind of like this thing, you know, to where, yeah, you can look at one of my paintings and immediately know it's my painting.
Right.
You know, nobody else's painting looks like mine.
And in similar fashion with the songs.
Yeah.
And you know, it's never good to generalize things, but I would say in ways that you're painting, the kind of signatures that you've got with painting, maybe in songwriting, it's like pointing out a certain city, and like in how you say that country music, you can't write country music in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
doing something like that is kind of like you. And what I've seen is one of the signatures that you have in songwriting, maybe.
Oh, yeah, sometimes, like, yeah, I never thought about that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't know of any other ones other than those particular two songs. But if it is a signature of mine, I wouldn't be cognizant of it. But,
Right.
Yeah. You know, I just had an interview the other day with my buddy Eric Erdman, who's starting a pod. You know him?
Of course, I've had him on this podcast.
Oh yeah, well he's starting a podcast with Lynn Olshoe, and they're doing something. And I went over there. It's called Dealing, the Sound of Mobile. You know it?
I haven't tapped in yet. No.
I was episode 01.
Oh well, that's
So I went over there and
you picked a good cast.
Well, Eric is one of the finest
Yeah.
local songwriters that we got. One of the finest songwriters, period, honestly.
12 notes and 26 letters.
Yeah. Well, you know, Eric teaches and all, and we were talking about it, and you know, I think I didn't really think about it until we were talking about it, but I realized that I prefer to just stay on this side of the curtain on a lot of things. You know, like I'd just rather not think of. I feel like if I get too concerned about things like brand or signatures, you end up
just la turn off your mind.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Yeah, you listen to my songs. Yeah, I find that if you just release yourself, what ends up coming out, it might all be the same, but it's because it's coming from me and I'm just one guy, you know, as opposed to like trying to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do and I'm just going to do this. It's like just let it flow, and whatever flows out of you will be you.
Right.
Yeah.
I really appreciate your, I guess, what's a good way to put it? Your maybe bluntness in your songwriting, specifically pertaining to that song of the sun's gravity pulling us in, but also I'm sure it's in many of your songs where it's you're not caring how it'll be interpreted. This is how I feel. Do you think that comes with being in a rural environment where you're seeing things for what they are, as opposed to like being in an urban environment where maybe you're kind of caught up in the midst of whatever, like everything that's going on?
Well, Sims. Sims was rural in the '80s when I grew up out there, but it ain't like Timbuktu or nothing. But
Yeah.
but
That's kind of the impression that I get from the Instagram videos is
Yeah.
like you strumming next to a bamboo tree or something.
yeah, well, that's just my backyard. Yeah, my back. We have a little bit of a nature preserve. We have like little 3 acres, and when you're on my 3 acres, it feels like you're in the middle of nowhere because we're surrounded with trees.
And chickens.
And chickens and ducks and everything else. But if you went up in the air and looked at our place, we're surrounded by all these damn D.R. Horton shit and all that shit. But
The lady that works for the Parks and Recreation Recycling said that she once had a duck named Quincy. I just had to.
oh yeah, well then I'll have to name a duck Quincy then.
Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah. We got a little pond out there, and we got a bunch of ducks being raised out there.
But yeah, just to repeat the question, it's like, do you find that kind of being in that environment of where maybe you're more prone to experience free feelings that you write songs that are shameless,
Yeah, well, here's the way I stand on all that stuff. It is impossible in our current cultural climate or society or whatever. It is impossible to say or be or do or create anything that everybody likes. And if you do, I promise you it's total shit. And so
right, they like it for the wrong reason at that point.
Yeah. So, it's when I make art, I make it the only person I'm answering to is me and God.
Yeah.
And I don't expect everybody to like it, and that's okay. And see, if you want to plus I like art to be challenging. You know what I mean?
That's good, man. I like that quote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think art's got to be challenging, and so, but we live in a world that nobody wants to be challenged because everybody's already committed to these ideological, constructs that we've all made, and so.
My dad says people want affirmation over information.
Yeah, that's true. But, I just don't give a damn. But I just, I'm just writing. I'm just a songwriter. And at the end of the day, none of this means, none of what I make is, it ain't going to change the world. But, it feels good to say it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
At Roosters, we are committed to using quality, locally sourced ingredients as often as possible. That's why we partnered with Bayou Corps Farms to take their heirloom corn, locally grown in Bon Secours, and use it to create the corn flour for our new always fresh corn tortillas. Our other partner, Tortilleria E&H in Daphne, receives the Bayou Corps corn flour and uses it to make the tortillas. The heirloom corn tortillas then get delivered to Roosters, where they are used to make our signature tacos. The end result is freshness and flavor you can't get anywhere else. Roosters, for the love of food.
Let's see. How did it feel to be in the Rolling Stone magazine?
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, that was really cool.
I like the way you kind of briefed it of, my dad bought these, I read these.
Yeah, my dad, when out there in Sims, when I was growing up, he used to get a subscription to Rolling Stone, and when I'd go over to his house, I'd go check the mail, and I'd pull out that thing and read it. And this was back in the day when people read magazines.
Right.
But, it's wild to have been in Rolling Stone.
Right.
Yeah.
Healing Appalachia.
Yeah. That's my friend Tyler Childers that puts that on.
Right.
Yeah. And
I didn't realize that he kind of organized that.
Yeah, it's put on by his management company. Yeah. He's obviously way too busy to construct something of that, but he's the guy behind it.
Right.
And he's a great person and a great artist, and I've been honored to be able to do this much, do a little bit.
Yeah. what are like some of the coolest places that you perform at when you're touring around?
Oh man, I mean, at this point, if I know a gig is going to be bad, I don't even play it. Like I ain't gonna go play. Like if you know, if it's like if it's gonna suck, I ain't gonna go. You know?
It's just funny. There's a funny response to that question.
Yeah, but because what I'm trying to say is all my gigs are pretty cool.
You got it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say because I mean, most of my gigs are pretty cool.
Right.
Like I don't play shit places. I ain't gonna go like if I know it's like a restaurant that's got a TV on in the back, I ain't going. You know,
Gotcha.
and I'm not hating on anybody that does, but it ain't for me. You know,
Yeah.
it ain't good for what I do. It ain't the setting that I want to create or deliver art in.
You can't have Chicago versus Green Bay playing.
Hell no.
As you're playing some,
And so yeah, I get to play a lot of cool places, man.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean I don't. I mean, there's been so many good ones, but I don't know. That might not be the answer you're looking for.
No, yeah, I like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've played this really cool, like, ancient church in Edam. It's a city in the Netherlands. It's where that cheese comes from.
Okay.
EDAM cheese. Edam. I don't know how you say it, but I played in this like church that was built in like 1400 or something like that. That was cool.
Dude, it is so cool, like in Europe, to see stuff like that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what it's like to play and stuff like.
Yeah, you don't even need no amplification. You can just like play,
Right.
and it's all just echo. Yeah. Yeah.
The reverb is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking before the podcast of your evolution through the career as a preacher into going into the military. Would you like to elaborate on any of that?
Oh man, I mean, it was just a long winding tale. But yeah, from 18 to 27, I was a Baptist preacher, and then I'm still in the military. I'm 17 years in. I'm a reservist, what they call a reservist. So I just go. I go 2 days a month.
Wow, 2 days a month. So yeah, I'm sure it gets easier throughout your time in the military in your latter years that you get to offer less time and focus on other career choices. But when you started at 27 years old, what type of leap of faith was that to join the military at 27?
It was the opposite of a leap of faith. It was a last ditch effort to escape poverty, is what that was. When I joined the military, I had spent 4 years of my life getting a theological education from unaccredited independent Baptist institutions.
Right.
Meaning that my education was absolutely meaningless outside of independent Baptist churches. And then I was married and I had 2 children and I was 27 years old. Okay, so I was 27, loads of responsibility, and I was leaving the independent Baptist church.
That's a crazy move.
Yeah, meaning that all my education was null.
Right.
Right. And then all the relationships that I had within that structure, they were all going to get burned because that's the way it works there.
Right.
And I moved back to Mobile in a U-Haul with my wife and 2 children, everything I owned in a U-Haul.
That's a fumble rooski.
Yeah. And I moved into my mom's house in West Mobile.
Yeah.
And I joined the military because I didn't have a skill. I didn't have a marketable skill. All I could do was preach, and I wasn't going to be preaching anymore. Yeah. And I didn't have a way to support my family. And so I joined the military in an effort to acquire a skill and to also be paid while I was acquiring a skill because I didn't have I had to feed kids. I couldn't go to school or go to trade school, or I had to feed kids.
Immediately, right?
Immediately. Yeah. And that was 17 years ago. Now I'm too close to retirement to quit. Right. Plus, I get my insurance.
Oh, yeah, you're about to be in paradise.
Yeah, so I get I got 3 children now and my wife, and so that's part of the way that I'm able to support myself and support my family as an artist is because I do the military requirements so I can keep my insurance.
How was it writing songs overseas in the military, in the desert, as you said?
Yeah. I mean, most of it, this was before I was ever I was in the desert before I was ever doing this publicly or was writing songs and playing them for anybody else. And so I just wrote to myself. Everything was for me.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, I've got one song that I play that I wrote over there, but most of the other stuff don't ever get played.
And was that in the Middle East then?
I was in this place called Qatar.
Oh, Qatar, gotcha.
Yeah, I work on C-130s, and the C-130s I worked on in Qatar go to Iraq and Afghanistan. Everything that can fly in and out, they leave in Qatar. Yeah.
And so just like in between shifts, you're just making a song?
I mean, a lot of times on shift. I mean, we work 6 12-hour shifts a week.
Right.
And it's just a lot. I mean, most being in the military is sitting around doing nothing.
Right. Just on duty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Still cool to be in Qatar though, right?
No, not where I was. Not where I was. But when people say Qatar, you look at the city of Doha. That's the city there.
Right.
But that ain't where the Air Force is running operations out of. It's
Right.
way off in the sand. Yeah.
What are some nuanced stuff that people don't immediately assume about wherever you were in Qatar?
I mean, Qatar's just it is a strange and really, really crazy place.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just like a king, but he doesn't live there. He like lives in Switzerland or something,
Right.
but he owns everything.
Yeah.
And they like enslave all these really, really poor.
He's like a bad version of Abe Partridge.
I don't know. This guy. I don't know. I mean I've never seen the kind of poverty I saw over there because the Qataris are only like 15% or something. I mean, this is all something you can type up in Google, but a small percentage of the country is actually Qatari. The rest of them are these really, really impoverished people that they bring over that have rags, and they go out and work on all their stuff.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Sheesh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare of a place to unless you're one of the 15%, then it's probably pretty cool. But,
Right.
But yeah.
Everybody else is enslaved.
Yeah, I mean, slavery is probably a word that would need some definition, but I mean, I don't know how to call it anything other than that. But I mean, people walk around with like no shoes and holes all in their clothes, and they're dirty. And I mean, you can like look it up. I think there was a great article written on, they had the World Cup there. I think, is it called the World Cup, the big soccer thing?
Yeah.
Read that, man.
They had that in Qatar, yeah.
Yeah, like hundreds, maybe even thousands of those people died creating that thing because they don't care about the people. There's no laws to protect them, and they just go up there on that scaffolding and put this roof together, and you fell to your death, clean them up, it doesn't matter, is that kind of thing,
Jeez.
Yeah, it's a crazy place, man.
Right. And you guys are in the Air Force, and y'all are just like hearing about this stuff, and
Well, we're on a base.
right.
Yeah, so there's guards all around the base. They ain't coming on a base.
Sure.
But on two occasions, I did go into the city of Doha.
Just check it out.
Yeah. And I like women are property. They told us like don't be looking at any of the Qatari women in their eye because if you do, and their father sees them,
Mm.
like beat them to death or some crazy shit. You know, they got to wear like they're like in these robes all the way down. They just got holes for eyes.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's extremely oppressive and like
Are any,
nightmare of a place.
are any of your songs like low key about Qatar?
No, no, I was just happy to leave there, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was just happy to leave there. I mean, that place was
How long were you there for?
6 months.
Oh wow,
Yeah, yeah,
that's a long vacation.
yeah, yeah. I wanted to leave the day I got there,
Yeah.
and but you can't exactly leave.
Jeez. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you for talking about that.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk about the life as a preacher?
Oh, I mean,
I understand if it's too
Yeah.
heartfelt.
oh, it was I pastored a little church in the mountains. We had about 60 people when I
Yeah.
took it.
Which mountains?
The Appalachian Mountains.
Appalachian.
Yeah, up in eastern Kentucky.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I pastored a church right there by the Cumberland Gap.
Oh man, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I once went to. I drove a U-Haul to, back from, no, drove a U-Haul to North Carolina, and for this couple from Mobile, and they were moving over there, and anyway, whenever I got there, I stayed the night so I could catch a flight back the next day, and it was a Sunday morning. We went to a mass, and they were in the mountains in North Carolina, and yeah, it was really cool. Going to a mass up there, it's like you said, it's a tiny environment of people. You know, it's
Yeah.
a small town mass in the mountains is peculiar.
Yeah, and that's something up in the mountains. There's not really big Catholic churches. You don't hardly see a lot of them.
Right, right.
If you see them, they're usually really like a small compared to what you see in Mobile.
True. I wonder if that
or like-
inspired their decision to move there. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if you show up and it's like an opposite or a different religion, you just got to stranded in the mountains.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, religion's religion, but regardless, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so being in the mountains like that, do you think that being a preacher reflected in your music at all?
Yeah, I mean, it informed everything I ever do.
Yeah.
It's just part of me, and I create art. I think you carry all your past with you. You know, like whatever. I don't know how old of a man you are. How are you? 20?
22.
22. Oh, you're just a youngin', but I got a boy that's 20. But as you grow and as you commit to things and you live these things, I mean, even if you turn and do something else, I mean, you carry it with you. Like there's nothing I can do to change who I was. And I carried so much regret, like tons of regret, from about 27 to around 35, 36 years old.
Man, I really appreciate you for bringing that up because I carry regret that I know isn't that much. Because again, I've been really blessed to be in this position and all that, and
Yeah.
but it will feel like it's a lot at times, and I appreciate you for bringing that up. How do you handle your regret, or did you at that time?
I didn't. I tried to handle it. With. I mean, that's why I started writing because, like, see, when I was, I had already made this commitment when I was 18 years old to go down this path. Okay, and I involved myself in this very strict fundamentalist version of Christianity. That there's just no room for deviation from a very very set path, and I ventured down that path for 9 years. So when I went down to the end of that path, and I found out that I could no longer go down that path anymore, and I mean, a lot went into this. This happened over a period of about 2 years, but eventually I was like, I've got to be done with this, whatever the cost. Like, to hell with whatever it means for my future. I'm done. And it took a long time to get there. But then when I got there, well, then you join the military out of just trying to avoid starvation or homelessness, and then you find yourself in boot camp being, as a 27, was 28, 27 or 28, I can't remember. See, it was January of 2008. So I was 27 years old. So I was there as a 27-year-old man. I've got people that are my age screaming at me, cussing me out, calling me everything in the sun. I'm running. I'm puking on myself. I'm showering with 50 naked dudes.
Right.
I mean, like, and then I was like, and everybody else in there's 18, 17, 18, 19 years old, just starting their life. And then I get out, and I'm an E3 I'm an E3, and like, they're calling me grandpa because like I've got a wife and kids, and they're all like 18 years old.
Right.
And
I'll join the military.
yeah. And then it was just, and then I look, and then I don't, you're when you have a wife and 2 kids and you're making an E3 salary, that'll keep you from like homelessness, but just barely, And so we struggled. And then, I saw the same thing. Like the military it wasn't like, oh, I'm so happy to be here.
Right.
I was there because I had to be there. I didn't see any other way.
Sounds like you got a great wife.
I do. I have a wonderful wife. She's been with me the whole time.
Yeah.
22 years now. But so then the regret came along, where it was like, holy shit, if I could go back to when I was 18, I could have done something better with my life. And it would come in waves and hit me at times, like I'd be riding down the road, and almost paralyzing regret. I mean, I would think about 9 years of my life squandered, in the best years, or at least my best years of my life, and the years that I could have been invested in something that would have made a better way for me and my family were gone. And it would just be overwhelming, and art and music and was just me trying to say that.
Right. That's really moving stuff, man. I really appreciate you for bringing that up. That's powerful. Regret is it becomes a mind game at times, and how are ways that you think the music and your writing kind of dismantled that?
Well, it didn't really dismantle it until when I was about 35 or 36 years old. That's when it began. I suffered with debilitating regret up until right around then, and that's when I saw my art connecting with the people.
When other people started to notice it,
and then people,
sympathize.
people would be like, "Oh man, like that song meant this to me."
Oh,
and then it was like, "Oh, okay." So, I
he's
had
preaching, yo.
it's like I lived through this,
Right?
but that made me who I am,
and
that gave me this platform. Right. I don't know if, like, I ain't shit. Like, I'm barely getting by, right. But I play like I play like D-list shows, and most of the time I'm the opener to like 50 people across the country. That ain't no big deal, but let me tell you, like it's an opportunity that for me to deliver songs and art, and then watch it like hit people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And when people connect with it, and they're like that, I mean, I've had some people I've had people buried to my songs. Like
man.
they played at like funerals things,
Right.
and I had people married to my songs, and
Man, you can make that a song.
yeah. So like, yeah, it's like it's so seeing all that, it felt like, well, going through all of what I went through, that's what gave me this platform to create this art. What I was going to say is, like, I don't know of any other artist in the whole country that I've ever come across, like painter or songwriter or anything, that did 9 years as a preacher and 17 in the military. I'm the only one. Okay, now I ain't shit, but that's a damn unique platform.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I get to make art from this unique platform. So yeah, my art may be a little left of center or a little wacky or wild or whatever, but I make it. I stand on the platform that God gave me.
Let's go.
And if I became comfortable a long time ago with the idea that, like, what I make ain't going to connect with everybody, and that's cool. I don't mean they're a bad person. It don't mean they don't like good art. All it means is they don't get it. But now, like, at this juncture, and I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years. Like, I've been playing now 9 years. I've been out on the road, and I know that what I make sometimes hit people in ways that's like life-changing. And so that's what makes me be comfortable with my past.
That was awesome, man.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Yeah, it's the knowing that you've got a unique platform must be so relieving to the self-esteem as well.
Yeah. I mean, see, sometimes, man, they'll ask me to come talk to college students and stuff, like art students,
Right.
people that are paying money to go to art school.
Yeah, that's actually why we're doing this podcast. No, I'm just joking.
No, not like, but I'm talking about, like, they'll ask me to go talk to art classes,
Right.
And I think, like, one of the biggest things that I see, one of the biggest questions that I get when I do that is the kids will say, like, how did you find what it is that you do? Like, because they're all looking for, like, who they want to be or some kind.
Right.
And it's like,
Developing their personality.
yeah, or like, they're like, they've learned how to paint all this stuff. And then they're like, but I don't know what's me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. They're strumming the strings instead of picking them.
Yeah. But, yeah, I just found, like, just lean into yourself, man, and make what you make.
Right.
Yeah.
Go do something for 10 years, then come back to the art.
That's what worked for me, bud.
That's
I'm
the
so
secret
happy
recipe.
I didn't go to art college. I'm so happy.
Right.
Because they would have taught all that out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really cool. Really
Yeah.
cool. Well, where do you see yourself in the next few years?
Well, I'm putting out a record. I'm putting out a record that I made with one of my all-time music heroes, and it should be coming out hopefully beginning of next year, something like that. I'm gonna be doing some tours. I'm just on a perpetual tour. Yeah, I'm doing just doing a lot of art stuff. Just constantly working. Yeah.
Yeah, the grind of a musician, just in talking to you, I kind of thought of this, that it's got its rewards if you stay consistent with it over a long period of time.
Yeah.
But you have to, work hard at it over a long period of time. And has that kind of lingered with you, that, like, man, if I just keep at it, I'll see the fruits of it later on? Or what's been the motivation for you?
Well, I make art primarily because it's what I do. And I've been making it long before it ever had an audience. And if I had no audience, I'd still be making it. So I don't really care. I mean, I do care. But as far as does does it having an audience, big or small, affect why I make it? No, I make it because that's who God made me to be, and so that's who I am. I make stuff. I tell stories. And some people don't want to listen, some people do, and that's, it's wonderful. But like, I just make stuff because I make it. But yeah, I mean, I followed this idea. I had this idea, when I was 35 years old. I played this one show. I played this one show, my very first show, and it changed my whole life and my perspective about everything. I was like, damn, I'm gonna start playing. So I just started playing, and my audience is built real slow. It's been a real slow thing. It's been a slow. I've been doing it like people did it before the internet, really.
Right.
And lately my wife is getting me and putting me on TikTok and all that shit. But yeah, that too.
Charges to the game.
Yeah.
Speaking of an audience, tonight at Callahan's.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite spots, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the home team. That's what I call the home team. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
And touring around America and overseas.
Yeah.
Callahan's as being the stop in Mobile that you have to make. Can you talk on that, please?
Yeah, Callahan's is well. Is there better spots to play music as far as like the quality of the
Acoustics and all
yeah,
that.
hell yeah, there is. But is there a better spot for the people? And there ain't, because it starts with JT.
Yeah.
JT is I mean, he's the reason that so much of the kind of art that I make and the kind of art that people make, like in the same kind of genre or field as me, he's like our. I mean, I can go to anywhere. I can go to Europe. I can go anywhere in the country and ask other artists that they're ask them about Callahan's. Everybody loves it. Everybody knows JT. Everybody loves him because he's like been doing it for a long time. He's consistent.
Well, what do you think is his best trait?
His best trait?
In
Well,
terms of,
he's just
an artist and
he's just an avid supporter.
Yeah.
He'll never stand you up. He will always go the extra mile to make sure that hey, I mean, never to me because I live here, but like other artists are like, hey man, you need somewhere to stay, you need a hotel room.
wow.
Hey, y'all hang around tonight. We're going to feed y'all.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's just he's an extremely he's extremely hospitable to everybody that comes through.
Yeah.
And he also has a ear, man. JT. You go to Callahan's, and it would be like if you go there for their shows that they have, it'll be rare that you leave and be like, boy, that sucked.
Right.
You can trust JT to bring
Gotcha.
in good art.
Gotcha. What are you going to do in the green room?
Oh, I don't know. hang out with Cam Lewis.
Yeah.
Talk shit.
Yeah.
Drink whiskey and talk shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool stuff, man. Is there anything else that you wanted to bring to the table?
No, Quincy, thanks for having me, buddy. And
Yeah,
I
it was
wish
a
you the
pleasure.
best. And
Likewise, Abe.
if there's anything I can do to help you, you just let me know, buddy.
Thank you, Abe.
Yeah, thank you, Quincy. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode on the Gulf Coast Music Podcast. We'll catch you guys in the next wave.
Awesome, buddy.
Welcome to the Gulf Coast. Welcome to the Gulf Coast. Welcome to the Gulf Coast.